So we are going to talk about an informal letter. In other words, it's mostly personal writing. Informal letters are addressed to friends, family in general. And this is the example we have here. You've just finished your final year of secondary school and you now have time to think about your future. Write a letter to a friend in France in which you talk about your hopes and plans. Informal letters, they are very common for the VC exam. There's a few things we need to talk about here, and first of all, there's some very strict features about informal letters and the layout, and this is what we're going to look at first. So what are the text features? First of all, you will have the address and the date. What we mean by the address is where you are writing from, and the date. So for example, it could be I'm writing from Paris, so I write Paris, comma, and the date. Now remember that in French, the months do not have capital letters, and the days either. Now at the end of this, you do not have a full stop or a comma, okay? 2014, and that's that. Now your letter will start with salutation, or what you would call greetings. So in most cases this will work. Cher Marc if it is singular masculine. Chère Pauline if it is singular feminine. Chère Pauline et Marc if it is a feminine and a masculine name. You probably remember that the masculine wins, but you have an S at Cher because there's two people. Et Chère Marie et Laurence with an ES if it is feminine plural. Now all these expressions are followed by a comma. And then you will start your letter. Now, usually when you start a letter, you open the paragraph with talking to the person you're writing to. So these are two expressions that will work in most cases. Merci pour ta lettre, d'accord? If you're actually writing as answering to a letter you receive, ou j'espère que tu vas bien, which works in any case. Now your final paragraph, you will do the same thing. You will again address the person that you're writing to. So you will say donne-moi de tes nouvelles bientôt, right. Or salut ta famille de ma part. Again, it works in most situations. Now if you're writing to more than one person, that would be donnez-moi de vos nouvelles bientôt, ou saluez votre famille de ma part, and so on. Keep this in mind. Now the farewell, when you close your letter. So if you're writing to a friend, it's fairly simple. Ton ami, without an if the person writing is a man. Ton ami, i.e., if the person writing is a female. Now this works for friends. Now if it's family, you can use things like je t'embrasse ou je vous embrasse affectueusement. If you're writing to your parents, grandparents, sister, brother, or even cousin, you would probably use je t'embrasse or je vous embrasse affectueusement. These expressions would work in any situation. Now there are more, and if you do search, for example in your dictionary, the Collins Dictionary, you will find a lot. In dealing with text types in French for the VSL School of Languages, this is really good too. So this is what my letter will look like, and it's important to look at this screen because there's a specific layout for a letter. Your date and address has to be in the top right corner, but your address to the person, the Salut Mathieu in this case, has to be on the left. But remember to have your address and date on the top right corner of the letter. So in this letter, I have what we may call, if you like, an introduction. That's the start of the letter. Then a body where I develop the ideas and the content of my letter, and then a sort of a closing part of the letter that, to simplify, we're going to call the conclusion, and we'll look at these different parts. Now, the introduction, so to speak. So here, you remember the topic. I am Australian and I'm writing to a friend in France. So when I pick the address where I am writing from, here I have to be in Australia when I write. So I'm writing from Melbourne, and that is the 22nd of December 2015. I have finished my final year of secondary schooling. That's what the topic is asking you. So that's why I've chosen this specific date, because the school year is finished by then. Then, Salut Mathieu, that's a greeting for a friend. Cela fait un bail que je ne t'ai pas donné de mes nouvelles. Alors, cela fait un bail is an expression in French, an idiomatic expression that means it has been a long time that. D'accord? Que je ne t'ai pas donné de mes nouvelles. Je voulais t'écrire depuis un moment déjà. So I wanted to write to you. I was willing to write to you for a long time now. Mais j'ai été très occupé par mon année 12, ce que vous appelez la terminale en France. Okay? So here, I'm exposing the topic. I've just finished year 12. And between brackets, I put vous appelez la terminale en France just for that sort of intercultural knowledge. Maintenant, c'est fini. Je suis en vacances. J'ai eu de bons résultats. Cependant, je ne sais pas vraiment ce que je veux faire à l'avenir. So I'm introducing what I'm going to talk about in my letter. Now for the body. Alors, mes parents aimeraient que j'aille à la fac l'année prochaine. So, literally, my parents would like me to go to university next year. Now, this sentence here, I have a conditional, aimerait, que j'aille, subjunctive à la fac. So remember that, again, we try to insert as much grammar as we can. We try to demonstrate grammatical knowledge. We try to use a lot of vocab when we write for VC. So this is what I'm doing here. C'est tentant, mais j'ai l'impression que j'ai besoin d'une pause, ok? So it's very tempting, but I think I probably need a pause. La terminale a été une année stressante et fatigante. J'aurais peur de regretter de ne pas avoir pris une année sabbatique si j'allais à la fac dès l'an prochain. So here I'm using a C clause, using a conditional and an imparfait. Néanmoins, mes parents insistent et je ne souhaite pas les contrarier. So here I was happy to use néanmoins, which is a kind of a but, un mais, but more sophisticated. Mes parents insistent et je ne souhaite pas les contrarier. So I'm going to develop my ideas from there. J'ai pensé que je pourrais faire ma première année d'université en France. Ce serait un bon compromis, une façon de couper la poire en deux. Okay, so here we still have the conditional tense that I've used quite a lot. And also this idiomatic expression, couper la poire en deux, which is cutting the pear in half, so making a compromise. Mes parents seront contents car je vais étudier et moi je serai heureux de voyager. So here I'm using the future. Si j'étudie en France, j'aimerais venir à l'université de Lyon pour te voir. Now, C clause with the present and the conditional. Ce serait sympa, non? Okay, so when you write to a friend, sometimes you've got these short sort of sentences. Toutefois, il y a plusieurs raisons pour lesquelles ce n'est pas gagné. So again, I've specifically used toutefois. Toutefois is, again, a sort of a but, un mais, but sophisticated. Il y a plusieurs raisons pour lesquelles, complex relative pronouns, ce n'est pas gagné d'avance. C'est pas gagné means it's not won. So in other words, it's not that easy. Idiomatic expression again. Premièrement, il faut que je sois accepté par l'université de Lyon. So here I'm going to use an enumeration starting with premièrement, which means that you will find the deuxièmement later. Il faut que je sois accepté, soit is a subjunctive, à l'université de Lyon. Ils sont assez sélectifs d'après ce que j'ai lu sur leur site web. Deuxièmement, so that's the second part of my enumeration, je ne suis pas sûr d'avoir assez d'argent. Même si la fac est moins chère en France qu'à Melbourne, so here I'm using a comparison, il y aura des frais de logement, de nourriture, etc. So I'm using a future. So that was for the body. Now I'm going to get back to the person that I'm writing to, so address that person more specifically. Je suis curieux de connaître ton opinion sur mon projet. So basically tell me what you think. C'est seulement une idée pour le moment, mais j'y pense de plus en plus. Crois-tu que ce soit une bonne idée? So asking a question to that person. J'aurais également aimé en parler avec Lise, mais elle n'a pas répondu à mes deux lettres. Mais elle n'a pas répondu à mes deux dernières lettres. Elle doit être occupée. These last two sentences are not really needed in my story, but I've just used that so that I could actually have a past conditional. J'aurais aimé. So here that's just a pretext to use more grammar. J'espère que tu vas bien. Réponds-moi vite. So that's the way to close the letter. Amicalement, John. So you remember that I'm supposed to be Australian in that text. So I finish with an Australian name. It's important to sign your letters. Now this text is 319 words.